Welcome everybody back for some more Infraspace on the channel. A lot of stuff has happened off camera. I have played one episode that didn't record correctly in the last time I played this game, where I basically upgraded, I think it was the thermal system, I think I did the radiation shield, and I did something else. I think it might have been the engine area of the ship. We're currently working on repairing the FTL fuel cells, which is currently happening back on the planet down here. Make sure that everything is running nice and fast. Where is my little space station? Here it is. Currently waiting on some yellow science packs, whereas everything else is working absolutely fine. Now, we are also running low on blue science packs, so we might just want to quickly go ahead and move some of these road points a little bit further down, just so they make a little bit more sense. And then we can obviously then add a bunch more stuff. Maybe we need to go ahead and update this area so it's a lot more efficient in how it operates. Just go ahead and make it a two-way road, and then it will be hopefully a lot more efficient, and make it so that they can go down there if need be. And obviously we can actually just move the, if we quickly delete that road, pull it from there, it makes a little bit more sense, and we can actually bring that to there, that to there, and obviously that will fix itself down the line like so. And then we can probably go ahead and add ourselves in a little bit more science along here. Like so. Obviously these will need some carbon and stuff, but they should be okay for the crude oil, because I'm pretty sure I brought the pipes pretty far down the road, but it does need to be extended just a lot more. So these guys should be okay for blue science now. Now the yellow science is up here, and they do have, it would seem to be, plenty of stuff going for them, so we could probably go ahead and add maybe 2 more of these buildings just so that they can go ahead and start producing a little bit more science, and then which will get this, of course, built up a little bit faster and a little bit more efficiently. So there's a couple other things we obviously need to work on, which is the next thing on the spaceship, which is the orbital scanners, which is the advanced filter mesh and the superconductor coil, and of course the telescope, which just needs red science, and the andesite, I can't say that word, but it's the one that uses the big mine that we haven't quite yet unlocked yet, which we have just unlocked the drill now. We also need to obviously then work on the terraforming part of the game, which is what is going to unlock right now. As we speak, actually, it's being researched, which is actually, we're doing the research to drone thing. We can research that last. Let's do some terraforming stuff first. Again, these guys are screaming out for resources, yet they are being delivered and on the way. And they should start producing the yellow science and helping with the aspect of the game. These guys are, of course, running low on some stuff as well, but I think most of this is the huge amount of traffic going down this road, so might just need a little bit of the old clear and restart. Oh yeah, especially if they're trying to turn in all the lanes. Oh, I think I've ruined it here. should help the flow a little bit better. Obviously, it's important to make sure that the flow is really good on the roads and that stuff. But the problem is they like to stop and change lanes like halfway down, because then they realize they don't actually need to go in some of these buildings, which I think is why it's probably better to have alternative routes and stuff along the way. Plus it's just a big kind of structure going on here, and this kind of thing does not help when you've just got like a whole bunch of traffic going in. In fact, it's probably better just to get them to go into one lane. It sure does help the traffic flow. Got 77% efficiency for the traffic flow, so it's really not good, really. Like, this is now working fine, and this should work fine because there's not too much stuff going on down there. But again, they're sharing resources quite a bit. Heading back over here, we got an issue with the building. Let's fix that quickly. It's probably stopping quite a lot of stuff happening as well. Especially with the transport of resources and stuff, because some come from all the way up here and have to come all the way down through the city. So yeah, we've got again 0 yellow science packs being transported to that area, so it might be worth actually expanding this once again and adding even more, like even more science packs and science buildings. It wouldn't really hurt to do so either, so let's see if we can get another like 4 in. I want to do. Obviously that's going to reduce the motors and stuff, but it should be okay in the long run. There we go. Because obviously once they get their stuff, you can kind of allow them to do their own thing for a little bit longer. Again, these guys are kind of struggling for blue science, yet there is 14 being delivered. Most of it is because they are going to take a little while to get there, because they've got to go down this quite relatively slow road, but it is all working and functioning as it should. But again, the traffic does get really slow because all the vehicles turn into the buildings and they don't really use the smartness of the lane stuff. There's also apparently a volcano around the map somewhere, but I think because I'm in a previous version, it doesn't quite exist yet. Again, they are crying out for red science and green science now as well. Might be worth getting myself some more of the recycling buildings, which is near the recycling centres, and going ahead and building in a couple of those. Obviously they do need a little bit of a road, so be it a fake road, but it does need to be a road to some degree. There we go. And that will obviously allow them to use a little bit less resources, or every 5 times they make a free one. Which is, of course, quite good. Quite a good little thing for them to do. Every 5 rounds it gets used all the resources back, so it basically gets a free set of parts, which again is a really, really good to have. Again, traffic flow is not too good. Most of it is because of this big spaghetti junction system here, and because of the massive flow of traffic. Is there anything we can do about this to make this more efficient? Don't think so. Unless we can pull some vehicles away. And then again, pull it up. Because yeah, that pulls a couple of vehicles around, but yeah, for the most part they do want to obviously get down to there. Should allow that to happen now, and it should make this a lot more of an efficient area. Again, these guys can go straight down there as well. Yeah, well, as much as I've made this more efficient, I've also made it a little bit less efficient at the same time, because I need to pause it and tell them that they can go in all different directions. Okay, so I've waited for the things to unlock, which is the terraforming part of this game. They do need motors and like neuroprocessors. The traffic is just getting a little bit out of hand, to be completely honest with you. There's just a massive queue of traffic that's getting a little bit out of hand going into this area here. I think it's more because it's trying to only use one lane, but in theory it can use both lanes instead of using one. So that traffic should be flowing a little bit easier. Again, look, it's 2-lane road, yet it's only using one of those said lanes. I might actually not allow it to go into that final lane, and then let these guys all go into that lane as well. It's always when the train comes in, and then there's a big influx of people coming in, cars and vehicles and stuff, so yeah. We'll see what happens when the next train is coming in. See if it's a little bit better. Yeah, it seems to be a little bit better, which means the traffic should, in theory, calm down. But then again, we could tell these guys that all they can do is go into this lane, and then these guys can go into all three. Just make sure that they are fully aware that they can do so. There you go. I should make that a little bit more efficient. Let's see if it works. Should create a constant flow, because then I don't really want these guys to go in that lane. And we should probably make this into a two-lane. And it's two-lane going into one lane, two-lane going into one lane. Yeah, there we go. That's a lot better, isn't it? And we could probably turn this one into a... Yeah, there we go. That is a lot more efficient, and the queue is now basically non-existent. Same with this queue here is also now non-existent because I've allowed them to go in all different ways and shapes and ways and all this stuff. Right. Yellow science is something that we are struggling with currently. If we pull this down a bit. I like that because it wants me to pull this down. And then we can add some more green science in. And then potentially add some more yellow science too, but should have the methane pipes. This is going to be a bit of a mess of traffic, but should be alright. Seems to be flowing a lot better than it was initially. That means these guys over here should stop complaining about the science that they require. They're obviously making the ground stuff, and then we can now look at getting the terraforming going. Now, I think I'm gonna go ahead and terraform. I think over here is probably the best place to do it in. So obviously we're going to need these guys, which obviously need the it needs steel and antimite. So let's go ahead and go and fix that problem first. So we're going to go ahead and obviously get this all set up and ready to go. Obviously we now need to go and find one of those areas where that stuff is found. I think it's up here actually, isn't it? No. I was going to say it's in a volcano, isn't it? But that's the iridium ore. Okay, where can I actually find this stuff? Because these are chemicals. These is iridium. That's methane, that's iridium, methane, aluminium, copper, aluminium, crude oil, copper. Maybe if I go on said mine. Okay, we're looking for a bit of the ground, I suppose. I'm not sure where you get this stuff from. Or can I just place one of these everywhere? Anywhere? Coction... Okay. Ah, but it needs stuff. Okay. That's kind of cool that it actually needs like sensors and stuff. So let's put this somewhere near a sensor section, which is here, obviously. Or we could just do what I normally do, and that is to basically bring transferring the sensors to me. Obviously it's not going to work because so that obviously brings the sensors over here, and then we can then obviously then put in this, which then we can connect. Let's put the drill site in, because the game's now being funny. There we go. And then let's connect the road in. There we go. And they should be accepting the sensors. Where the sensors come from. They do have a lot of sensors spare. And the high-tech tools are here, aren't they? Manufactured. Here they are. So we can then take a road from here. Bring that in like so, which means there should in theory be a bunch of high-tech tools coming down this road. So I do a little bit of fixing of the road. Yep. Is that a sensor though? That's fine. I actually think I ended up breaking. There we go. God, that does explain why there was quite the mess here, wasn't there? Let's go ahead and fix this one as well. That does explain it. That explains why the traffic was so bad up here. These ones here are now the is exactly what we need for this building that's up here to be constructed, at least. So they've got a bunch of sensors and a bunch of high-tech tools coming in. High-tech tools shouldn't take too long to actually complete. Again, these guys are now running low on a lot of supplies and sensors and all that stuff. But hopefully with the new layout of the road, we shouldn't really have a problem with it. Let me just double check that the whole road is not like this. I think it's okay. We might need a bit of the old deleting everything and just restart it again. Because we had that traffic stopped for such a well, not even a long time, but even just that short amount of time, it's ruined it all again. It's all these little stops and goes and stops and goes and stuff. Again, you guys can go that way as well. It's gonna be a mess anyway, isn't it, really? However much I do it. These now have plenty of sensors, and they will be getting the final little bits of stuff coming down this road, hopefully anyway. We have unfortunately just stopped the production of these anyway. They do produce, I think it's going to be 1 every time. No, 6 every time, so just a little bit slow at doing so. Yeah, pull this way and make this go this way. I mean, 9 times out of 10 the vehicles want to go this way more than this way, if that makes sense. In fact, I think this is actually slowing down everything. Might as well let them go all the way to the end and then take the natural route out, and then they can actually get there faster in the long run. How are you doing over here for your science? Nothing's being delivered. You, on the other hand, will be built in no time at all, actually, whenever the next couple of things get in. And now they need concrete and steel and computers and motors. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to connect all that stuff. Well, I suppose not really, because all I've got to do is take a road from there outwards. There's an invisible road there, but that's hopefully going to bring up both concrete, computers, and maybe even motors, to be completely honest with you. It's going to definitely bring concrete and steel in, because these lines are all connected to one another. I think it's bringing... yeah, it's bringing concrete in. And then the steel factories are over here, and then we can go ahead and again make another invisible road, and hopefully that will bring some steel in. But yeah, I think that most of this stuff is. Really quite backed up, and it doesn't really need to be like this. Yeah, it looks like some steel or maybe even just some computers are coming up and in. Yeah, we're getting steel. It's just the motors that we need now, which would come from here. We can probably just get those in when they come down here, and then unless they're going to go on the train, which I don't really want them to, so let them in like that. As then the motors will come down here, and some might even just go up here instead of going all the way up into these buildings here. I think all these red vehicles are indeed motors, so it does give them access when there is enough to go ahead and get up there. So because if not, I think they are, because again this road is backing up again. Might allow them to go in that lane as well. Let them go in all the lanes. That should be fine to go with that. You are now not getting any motors, but you are getting steel and stuff, which is good. I feel like the motors will come. The motor factories have plenty of materials and stuff, and they're producing quite fast. It's just that I think they're needed elsewhere, and we were probably just pushing that limit before. And you're in desperate need for yellow science, and then you guys are also in desperate need for motors. I think the motors are quite an expensive resource. These aren't the motors, are they? No, these are heat exchangers. And then the motors will be in here, I want to say. Yeah, copper, steel. Ooh, no, actually not too bad, actually, to be fair. I thought that was going to be a little bit more expensive than they are. And then the steel, yeah, it's just iron and water and carbon. So maybe it would be good for the next episode to go ahead and start doing that. And getting the motor production up, especially if we're going to start doing this kind of thing. And these do need a lot of both, not only steel but motors as well, so we can have a, I think there's iron up here. Yes, there is. I think they already have had a go at some, so we get some iron. Carbon's not too bad, and go ahead and start producing the motors and stuff up here as well. Actually, I think we're going to start terraforming this area up here. Makes a little bit more sense, really, doesn't it? They're going to need stuff as well. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy it nonetheless, and obviously we are getting towards the end of the game. So yeah, hope you guys did enjoy. Hope to see you guys next time. Goodbye.